Looking to be more productive and jump those hurdles of change and challenge easier? You've come to the right place. Welcome to Thrive in Life with your hosts, Zaheen Nanji.
Hello and welcome to episode number 54 on the Thrive in Life show. I'm your host, Zaheen Nanji. All right, today we are going to talk about 6 phases of life transitions. And once you understand the 6 phases, you are going to live a much happier and longer life. This episode is sponsored by the Resilience Champion Academy. You can go and check out my online courses at resiliencechampion.com. I also wanted to let you know that if you're listening to the podcast on iTunes or Stitcher, Google Play, Spotify, and so on, you can look at the slides and the video of this recording on my website at zaheennanji.com/TIL/54. Again, that's zaheennanji.com/TIL/54. All right, let's get on with this. So you've actually heard about the phases of grief, but have you also heard that there are phases that people go through when they encounter major life transitions? The first phase is called loss. The loss of something important is typically what creates a transition in our lives. And it's normal and natural to feel loss and to grieve over what you no longer have. An example of this is when I moved from Kenya to Canada. I lost the sense of being with my family. I lost my friends because they were still back there and I was here. And of course, I moved without my family, just in case you don't know. So everyone was still back there, except for me and my sister, who were in Canada at that time. So it was really difficult at that point. Phase 2 is uncertainty. So once the sadness has passed, we move into uncertainty where we ask questions like, what will my life be like now? What can fill the void that the loss has left? How can I move forward? So when I went through phase 1, where I was very sad, I missed my family, I was very homesick, I was also asking these questions. What will my life be like now without my family? I'm just going to be living with my aunts and uncles. How's it going to be? What can fill the void that this loss has left? And how can I move forward when I'm so homesick? Phase 3 then is discomfort. In the midst of uncertainty, we also go through discomfort. So phase 2 and 3 kind of work together. We feel unsettled, insecure when we don't know what to do next or where to turn. And I felt discomfort when I was learning new ways of doing things. So here's a good one. When I came to Canada, honestly, I didn't know how to use a washing machine, a dryer, a dishwasher, and so it was I felt discomfort that I didn't know this, but I also had to understand that I had to learn this. I was very sheltered. I'd never used public transit before. So when I came to Canada, I had to learn how to use public transit and learn how to ask where things were, learn how to get there. All that caused discomfort. Phase 4 is insight, where finally we start to feel the sun break through the clouds and a realization that what we've lost can be replaced with something better. Now, I'm not talking loss of life, okay? I'm talking about major transitions in our life where we've lost something. So it could be even a job that you had and unfortunately you lost that. So we go through the same thing even when we lose a job or we've gone through some health issues and we've lost something that way, okay? But the sun does break through. And the sun did break through for me as well when I realized, okay, I've got a lot of aunts, uncles, cousins, and they're helping me through this. I started to volunteer and make friends, and I thought, this is not too bad. And then we go into phase 5, which is called understanding. In this phase, the glimmer of hope that you had in phase 4 now becomes full-fledged understanding of how your life can change for the better. And this is where I started to understand that, I'm glad I came here because I had the opportunity to educate myself, to go through university, that I can actually do that, and that I have a great opportunity here. But it started to finally sink in. And then you start to make plans and have goals in this phase. And you start to understand why you suffered the loss that you did. And you start to understand that this could end up being one of the best things that could have possibly happened in your life. And then phase 6 is integration. In this final stage, we begin to integrate the ideas and plans into our lives. We begin to take action steps that will get us to where we want to go. So, whether you've lost a job and then you had to find another way to move forward, you may have found that opening up your own business was something that you tried, that was the glimmer of hope. And now, in phase 6, you finally start to put ideas into how to expand the business and so on. So those are the kinds of things I'm talking about. Now, one thing is that I really want to go through is things to keep in mind when you're going through major life transitions. Remember that you are not alone. We all go through challenging times. No one is immune to that. And rest assured that you have friends and family that are willing to help you. And I was lucky that I had aunts, uncles, and cousins who really made me feel welcome, who made me feel that I wasn't alone and supported me no matter what. And you have that as well. The next thing you need to remember is cut yourself some slack, right? We all have these non-urgent things that we think have to be done right away, and they tend to fill up your life. But just take a moment, take a break, and take it easy and heal your heart. And start to think about things that can work as you're going through phase 1 to 6. The next thing is to remember that confusion and pain will never last forever. Nothing is permanent. There's always a beginning and there's always an end. And you're going through a transition. And this transition or this confusion and pain could end up actually being a new opportunity. So keep that in mind. Life is all about change. Just like nature goes through change, life is nothing if not change. So what I'd like you to do is go to episode number 18 of the Thrive in Life show and listen to the 7 universal cycles of change. This is a model that was created by Tim and Chris Holbaum of the NLP Institute of California. And when I learned about this from them, I never looked at change the same way again. So go listen to episode number 18 at zaheennanji.com/TIL/the number 18. That's 18. The next thing is learn how to reframe. I keep talking about this word all the time. Even in my TED Talk, I talked about reframe because it's my favorite thing ever. Life may look grim, but look around you and you may notice that others have it worse than you. And I realized that when I was going through breast cancer and I went through surgery, it was a day surgery where they had to remove the lump from my breast. And I have to tell you that was the moment of reframe for me, where I knew that that I'm going to survive. I had to look at this differently. I had to have a different mindset. I was pushed into a room with 2 other women going through completely different things. On the one hand, there was a 94-year-old that just found out the night before that she had only a couple of weeks left to live. She had a lot of pain in her stomach, and apparently it was a knot. And being the age that she was and her health, they were not going to operate on her. And they told her, you may have just a few weeks left. And then the other lady on the other side of me had a surgery where they had to remove her gut, her bigger colon, and she had to have a bag for the rest of her life. And I thought, here I'm complaining about my situation. Here there's one lady who has to come to terms with her life ending. Here's another one that has to change the way she lives her life because now she has to have a bag everywhere she goes. And here I was complaining about something that was removed from me. So it really made me think about looking at my life and being grateful for what I had. Now, I'm not downplaying cancer. Please don't get me wrong. All I'm saying, in that situation, for me, this is the thinking I was going through. Everyone else, it could be different, but this is how I learned how to change my mindset. The next thing you have to understand is when you're going through major transition, you want to reduce negativity from your life. Friends and family can be loving and supporting, but there can be some who can be negative Nellies, right? And if they keep on being negative, all you have to tell them is, I can't take that. I'm going through a transition where right now I need to just focus on being positive and just focus on knowing that things will turn out for the better. And there you have it. That is a short session on major life transitions. I hope you enjoyed this episode. And like I said before, you can watch the video on my website, or you can go onto any iTunes podcast, any podcast that you listen to, which is iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, and so on. So until next time, bye-bye. And make resilience your first reflex.
Thanks so much for listening to Thrive in Life with your hosts, Zaheen Nanji. For more great content and to stay up to date, visit ZaheenNanji.com. That's ZaheenNanji.com. We'll catch you on the next episode of Thrive in Life.